Hello, hello. Welcome to the Andrea and Stacy show.
I'm Andrea.
And I'm Stacy.
And there's no oxygen in this room.
None. And I just ran up the stairs carrying that basket, which is not heavy at all, and I can't breathe.
But the stairs are vertical.
Up.
And another thing, too, is we had, what do you call those? Scentsie's not the right word. Spits out the water with the oils in it. It was running up here with, like, no air conditioner on, no windows open, doors closed, and this is upstairs of an old 2-story house. So it's settled. So we're probably breathing.
It's probably where my lungs are
Yeah, we have chemical burns on our lungs now, no doubt. Because it can't be as hot as I feel.
No.
But I feel, you know,
I feel like I'm about to break out in sweat.
Internally, yes. Yeah. Was it anxiety?
Maybe we're
thinking.
Relaxed. Yeah. And I did actually have to move around to pack those, so maybe I just actually
We must have got a little bit of an adrenaline.
Had to. Because I'm always nervous about this stuff, because I never know. In my mind, it looks okay, and then it doesn't. I guess we can explain what we're
I'm always nervous, too, because I'm afraid you're going to make me do something. I'll put the eggs in the box.
You did good.
Put the eggs in the box.
Once a year, we usually have a get-together and just invite random people that don't know each other to make it super interesting.
Sometimes we don't even know the people we invite.
That's happened, yes. Mm-hmm. And they show up, which is interesting. But this year we were going to do that, and then we just felt like it wasn't supposed to happen that way. So instead, Andrea came up with a great idea to make a... I'm telling you, I'm out. Make a,
I think I took the last one, too.
Like a fall basket. So we went to Hobby Lobby, ran into Randy that I graduated with from high school that I haven't seen since high school.
Hobby Lobby that we've probably never been into.
I've never been into it. No. And what'd you say when I said that out loud in Hobby Lobby? Things white people say?
Definitely.
I was like, I've never been.
I don't know where it is in this Hobby Lobby. I've never been in this one before.
So we bought...
you get disoriented for a minute.
It was flip-flopped like backwards and sideways. They had 6 of these baskets, and we needed 8, but that's okay. We picked up 2 metal baskets you found today, which were nice. We grabbed 3 different colors of sunflowers and 3 different colors of raffia, and put that on the outside. And then we did, each one gets a little napkin? Dish towel with a giving thanks type saying on it. And then they get these little ceramic pumpkins, which are super adorable.
How cute is that, really?
Yeah, just that little...
Yeah.
Yeah. And cute. Then we're going to unpack this basket, I guess. This is the cutest part, though. Andrea picked up cupcake holders. And
how cute is
put eggs in there with raffia, so they look like little nests, super cute. And then we found these really cool fall stickers.
Yeah, we got those at Hobby Lobby.
And then 2 things of condensed milk, pumpkin pie spice.
There's a short one on those, but we won't go there, Walmart lady.
2 pie pans, and... we decided to go with the simple, just so in case people didn't know how to make their own pie crust. You just add water and...
We were going to actually get, like, the flour and all that and mix it. Put it in a jar with instructions, but I think that'll keep longer.
Yeah. And what we could have done is just dump this in a jar. And then Andrea grew these pie pumpkins, so they get to take these and you... slice them in big chunks, put them face down. Is it $4.50? Till they're soft.
Well, I mean, if you do it at $4.50, it's faster, and sometimes they turn black. But if you do it at $3, I mean, I don't know. I think you can do it at any temperature.
It just takes longer.
Just watch it. Yeah. Or don't put it like way up down
in the middle. So they can take these ingredients and make 2 pumpkin pies, and we picked random people. And we'll deliver them tomorrow. Yes. I'm excited about that. Make sure I get it all back in there.
How many stops will we have?
John and Glenda, bookstore lady, and then bookshelf. Yeah. And I thought when I get back in town tomorrow, I would just let you know and we would just go by John and Glenda's, and then park in the front, do the bookstore lady, and then that just leaves us 6 to have to get upstairs.
Sounds good.
And I can get the wagon if you think we need it, or we can just move them all inside and then scooch them. We'll figure that out.
Well, if we drop off one downstairs and then one, does that gives us 6 to carry up?
Yeah.
3 each. I bet we can do that.
Okay. They're not that heavy. As long as the basket holds.
Oh.
I'm more concerned about this coming out because it's just stapled in
We'll
there.
carry them one at a time. Set them by the elevator. Load them into
the elevator.
Then go up.
Then haul them off. Okay. Sounds good to me.
We'll make it work.
Yeah. Because I think just Nicole, Maddie, and Gail will be there tomorrow. And then Carol and Chris will be there Wednesday. And then I don't know.
But we can bring them all. Like we can bring them in.
We're going to set them on their sewing machine. I might put the eggs in the ice box though, since it might be. Yeah. But if Gail heard us, it'd give her a heart attack. Yeah. You're right though, we could. They all get there at 8 o'clock. I don't get there till 9. So there's no sneaking in the morning either.
Oh, that's fine. We'll just walk in with him.
The weather here has been fantastic. The sun has moved enough to throw off all my plants in my windows. It's not coming in the way it used to. But
have you looked at the forecast for this week?
No.
It's going to get up to 89 and sunny.
Really?
I'm happy.
Really?
And then it's going to go away forever.
Oh.
It's like the last hurrah. So I'm going to enjoy it.
The women were gone, so I didn't have anybody tell me what the weather was.
Oh, like drunk. But I think it's one of those, it comes and then, like the peaks start getting before it just stays cold and it's more even. So, I mean, I know it's not going to last, but I'm just going to enjoy it while it's here.
Can I tell you a funny thing neighbor kid did?
Mm-hmm.
So the apartment's on the corner from my house. There's like 5 kids that are there all the time. I don't know if they're there after school or if they live there or what. They all look like they could be related. They're young. And Friday, I think it was, I don't know, it doesn't matter. I pulled up to the stop sign to turn to come down the road to go to my house. And they always are throwing a football. There's usually a man out there, I assume their dad or uncle or somebody throwing football with them or kicking the soccer ball. He wasn't out there. One of the kids kicked the ball on the road. They've got these little goals that they kick the ball at. And so I just stayed at the stop sign because there's too many kids for me to watch try.
Yeah.
So there's one little girl on the road in a scooter. And I want to say she's probably 7 or 8. And she lays her scooter down. She doesn't have shoes on. And she's going to kick. I thought she was going to pick the ball up and throw it. She sets it down and does her backup. And I'm like, oh, don't break your foot. Because I'm thinking, I've done that, right?
Mm-hmm.
She kicks the ball as hard as she can. And it hits the curb and came back and hit her right in the face.
Oh.
I had my windows down and I busted out laughing.
Ouch.
And then she picks the ball up, puts it back in the exact same spot, kicks it again, and it hit her in the chest. When I drove by
she's
her,
not afraid to take a hit.
When I drove by her, she was like, I was laughing hysterically. But they've discovered the library, which is fantastic.
That's good.
So,
I apologize again. It's Herb. I warned you before you came. I have a poodle with serious issues.
He's outside the shut door.
He puts his butt up against the crack. I mean, I don't know how
I see him do it when he does it, yeah.
It's been like that all day here.
What's he eating?
He just has these
Upset.
bouts, and it's not what it's probably whatever he's chewing on outside. When leaves fall and twigs fall.
Yeah.
He's one of those that brings in sticks and everything, and then poodles, I guess, are known to be gassy. It's bad. I need those smelling salts that you crack and just shove them in my nostrils. I had the windows open and the fans going when I'd actually cleaned the house, and it was still like I went to Randa Braun's and then came back, and I expected to smell like the mopping stuff or whatever.
Smell clean.
No, Just smelt poodle. It's bad.
Oh my goodness.
So bad.
Let me tell you, this has been the last week has been pretty stressful in my personal life. I'm handling it fine. It's not like that kind of stress, but God, I don't know how people do it on a regular with things just hitting them all the time and try to navigate that.
Especially if you don't have a coping.
If you don't have
mechanism,
a faith or a hobby or whatever.
Something to fall back on.
It's a lot, yeah.
Let it out. Yeah. I hate when tragedy hits close to home.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm okay. And I'm making it through fine, and so is everyone else. But it's touch and go there for a while.
She's going to keep on keeping on. You know what that reminds me of? Brady Bunch. They do that. Keep on dancing on. That's going to be in mine.
Oh, man. I was thinking when you said that of that dance, but I was thinking of Gold. Saturday night. What's it called? Gold? Where they would dance in those lines down that TV show?
Soul Train?
Soul Train. Gold? Yeah, Soul Train.
My sister and I.
Yeah.
Soul
Train. Man, and their outfits were dynamite.
Literally right. Let's look for that. Soul Train. Opening.
I came across a podcast that I thought, we should just do that. He finds a sore spot out in the world.
The graphics. That's not the one I remember.
Soul Train, the U.S. Army.
That was, it won't be, yeah, that's funny. Okay.
That was not a good example of the Soul Train.
That was the modern one.
He literally finds sore spots that are out there, like things that have happened, and then he finds an article on it, like where it's been posted on Twitter, where it's been tweeted, and then he reads the comments, and then he adds his opinion to it while he's talking about it, and that's all it is. And it's like 15 minutes of
I'm telling you, we just have to start advertising. People would love our opinions on things. And in fact, I don't think we should call it tweeting. Let's call it twittering.
Twittering. We should call it
Twittered.
Yeah.
They twittered it.
We twittered it.
You twittered it. It's out there for everybody to comment on.
They used the number sign a lot when they added,
Number sign twittered. Pound sign. Whatever you want to call it. Hashtag some made up crap.
Yeah, it is. It's just binary code, right? Oh, man.
Soul Train opening 1975. Now we're talking.
Yes, there it is.
And I touched. No. I think my finger hit something.
Set up, isn't it, for what I'm remembering?
I think my finger hit something.
I just remember his voice being like, Soul Train.
I'll find it.
Soul Train. It is driven about. Across the cracks in your mind. With guest stars. Winner. David Ruffin. The Soul Train Dance.
Oh, their boots.
Make yourself hungry.
Yeah.
I need either one of those.
Now, here's your host,
Better than Lawrence Welk.
Oh man, I hated Lawrence Welk.
I'll watch that over Lawrence Welk.
I think it went for me like Soul Train, Hee Haw, and then if I could slide it in, sneak it, I'd watch Saturday Night Live.
I think this is the one we remember.
Yeah.
Because this was like late 80s.
They'd all be like
80s, early 90s.
Yeah. Wait, I can do their hair.
That's the hippest trip in America. Oh, whoa. Keep coming.
Ooh, how are they dancing to that one? Or are they?
Not like me.
Oh.
Oh, it's not.
Really hot. They're doing the booty hop.
I'm familiar.
Still in a three-piece suit.
Not be the same 3-piece.
Oh, tell them about the books you got gifted.
Well, ask and you shall receive. I should get a sample. Hold on.
Okay.
Pick a number 1 to 26.
13. It's Halloween.
That's right.
Try to pull my hair.
Some of you are going to be. Ooh, it matches my earrings.
I thought you meant my hair. I was like, what?
Some are you.
Some are you.
Some of y'all will be familiar with what these are. They're called encyclopedias. It's not a spin-off of Wikipedia.
No,
And
no.
in fact, that's where Wikipedia gets its name.
That's true.
An encyclopedia is a collection of verified factual information.
Which is unlike Wikipedia, where they just type stuff and put it
It's
on there.
put into alphabetical volumes. So you look everything up alphabetically. Like if you want to Google something, you would turn to the index.
In the back of the book.
Yeah, I think. Or is it in the front?
I think it's in the back of the
I guess they assume it's alphabetical. They're not going to tell you there's no index. But anyways, you would just give me an M.
monkey.
Okay, so alphabetically,
There's
I
probably
would
no
look for
monkeys mentioned in
M. Oh, yeah, there is.
Okay.
I actually saw it. M-O, like right now I'm on Morse, M-O-R-S-E, and we don't want to stay on that. So we would go to N is before R. Okay, so now I'm on Moon. So I'll keep going. Now I'm at Montana, so I'm at M-O-N, and I'll keep going back M-O-N-O, M-O-N-K. So keep going. Oh, gosh, I don't have any thumbing skills.
No, I don't either anymore. I don't use books enough.
Monaco, Monk.
Monet.
I'm still looking.
This is so much more efficient than that Wikipedia crap.
Monk, M-O-N-K. So I keep going. And monkey.
Oh, monkey!
We found it. We found it.
So there's a bunch of
Monkey.
information on monkey.
Yeah.
That's dated from 1982-ish, I think.
Oh, no, because the first volume was 79 up there, the
Okay.
history volume.
Okay.
Well, let's see. Tell you, 1978
Okay.
is the World Book Encyclopedia, copyright 1978. Anyways,
Find a picture of a person in that, like, if they're wanting to talk about something and they just happen to have, like the people pictures you showed me. I want them to see what they're wearing more than like a historical painting or something.
There's no people in it. But we won't do that.
Okay. I agree.
I saw some black and white picture of a woman. I got a telescope. I lose my mind. Really?
How did those end up in the M?
What we're doing is thumbing for like a picture that shows
from that year.
Harvard University, like in Cambridge, and this is like
the current picture from that time.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it fun.
I
you
mean,
can see what they're wearing.
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Instead of Googling Harvard picture from 1970 whatever, we just flip through and look at the pictures.
Yeah, and if we want, to know what's coming up with trends or anything like that,
we'll know because everything's being repeated.
Oh, there we go. That's kind of what we're talking about.
There. Yeah. And what's that under? What are they?
Map.
Oh, okay.
They're doing maps, drawing maps or whatever. So, anyways, I think it's pretty cool because history changes. Just like science changes.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing when it comes to humanity is written in stone. Now, there was a time we actually wrote in stone, and they got it right because they permanently affixed it, telling you what was going on at that time and what happened. And then now that we're evolved, we read it and we're like, what they meant to say.
Yeah. And then the one archaeologist or whoever it is says, no, I think they said what they meant to. They get shunned and whatever the blackball equivalent of being blackballed is for archaeologists.
Yeah, like what would it be? Blackboned?
Blackboned. Well, they just make them wear the flag with the skull and crossbow from the pirate ships that I just made up in my mind.
An albatross hanging around their neck. Anyways, so I've got the whole. I have gotten the whole set of these things to a lovely woman named Shirley, and I have volumes A through Z, the alphabet, and then there's extra volumes like for what sums up what happens in a year, like yearly summaries of science and just history. But I promise you, if I were to take a Today history book, if they even have books in school anymore. Oh, no, we don't. It's online.
Yeah.
So that's more accurate. And compared it with this, there would be discrepancies. But somebody who wrote this in 1965, who was there through the marches and the civil rights and all that stuff, would say it one way. But here, 2020, we're going to interpret it.
And we're not talking about whether Christopher Columbus was the first person to land, because we're not
debating
talking about that. We're talking about actual facts of an event that happened.
Election
and that
results.
People now look back at and say, "Oh, that can't be right."
Who signed actual bills and documents, and what territories were owned by whom, and
Ooh, did you see? I gotta look it up, but I was gonna send it to you and I forgot last night. This woman in Texas got $10 million because her family proved they own Padre Island, and they've just decided that Texas just took it over.
I believe that.
Yeah, she had they thought it was just like a family lore, like just a story told, and I guess they decided to look into it to see, because they actually own Padre Island. I guess they don't now because they got $10 million.
My grandpa's family during the Depression got their land taken taken away.
Yeah.
Do you know how devastating that is? Like when you have a home and you can hunt, you can fish, and you can pretty much self-sustain, and then the government comes in and is like, we're seizing your land because we're going to make a lake. And then they're just literally allowed to pack their possessions because this government didn't buy them out. They seized the land.
Yes.
So they were out everything, their business, their land, their home. I mean, they packed up and, went and, yeah.
I'll have to find that article. I didn't fact check that, by the way. I just saw the article, read the first paragraph, and thought I need to read that later.
It's probably true. Because that happens a lot. It happens a lot.
Yeah, you think you're okay because you can hunt or fish and you have a home, and then they just come in and take it. It's to me similar when a property like a college or something gets to take the land around it, and you
eminent
own that
domain.
Yeah,
eminent domain. And I can see where it was created for a purpose because it is for the better good, right?
Yeah.
You have a major university. If they need to expand around it, and if there's just a couple of blocks of homes in their way and they can buy those out at fair market value.
If it's fair market value.
Then fair enough, but,
okay,
it doesn't always work like that.
It's a family given a Texas island in 1759, sold later, seeks royalties that were never paid. I'll send this to you.
Kudos to them.
Yeah. King Charles III of Spain gave 209 square mile island to Jose Nicolas Bali in 1759. They heard a lot of stories about it growing up from the grandmother. My grandmother had stories about the family rowing a little boat out to the island and spending days out there fishing and just spending their time. So that's pretty, I thought that was pretty interesting. Anyway, I'll send it to you so you can read the rest of it. Let's see, it says, but as centuries passed, Bali's descendants, once part of a family dynasty that included a family crest, a family tree dating back to the 12th century, and an ancestor who was a saint, began selling off pieces of their land to try to keep their individual families afloat. They were field laborers, and they weren't educated. They were illiterate, honest, good people, but they didn't know the American system. The story went that a white man approached some of the Bali heirs and convinced them to sell their land. Some of them did. In return, they were promised mineral royalty rights to the island in addition to the money they received as payment for their land. In total, Bali's heirs signed 11 deeds. Gonzalez has said her grandmother was one of them. She was paid $25 for her property in 1938, which she immediately hid in her mattress to keep safe. But decades passed and not a single Bali heir received royalties they were promised. She would have us go check the mailbox and see if anything had come in. My grandmother, Elisa, was still believing that she's going to receive monies in 1969 when she passed. So that was a common practice, I guess, to buy the land, promise them that, not pay it, it looks like. I was going to see if it would tell me. After grandmother's death, Gonzalez said she couldn't forget the family legend. She began researching Padre Island in 1978. For 7 years, she traveled across southern Texas, digging through various court records and trying to find any documentation related to Padre Island. In 1985, she found what she was looking for. She found the 11 originals deed confirming the story her grandmother said. It vindicated her grandmother. In 1938, a white Harvard-educated lawyer named Gilbert Curlin went down to Texas from New York on behalf of his uncle to buy about 2,200 or 1,000 acres of Padre Island from some of Bali's remaining heirs. In the deeds, there was an agreement that the heirs would maintain mineral rights to the land their ancestors had lived on. It's a pretty long article. I was going to make sure it was 10 million because I said that.
So for Texas to validate that land deed, to show that they legitimately owned it, they couldn't deny the clause in there about the royalties. Because if they would have said the royalties are invalid, that would have made the sale invalid, which means the family would still own it. So it was probably the cheapest way out.
All told, the legal battle involved many appeals, years of litigation, and eventually a settlement totaling $10 million. But the settlement didn't go very far for Gonzalez. There are over 250 Bali heirs, and each received a different increment based on their generational proximity to the original Bali and the size of their family's original property. So Gonzalez, who had spent 22 years researching and digging up her family's history, ended up only receiving $11,000, almost half of which was paid to her lawyer.
But she fulfilled her goal.
Yes.
And I bet that unlocked some type of blessing for her family.
Oh, I'm sure.
That was tied up.
I mean, if nothing else, everybody believed that what Grandma said now.
Yeah. Because now somebody might want to buy her rights.
And she still owns them. Unless it didn't say that she gave them up that I saw. 20 years later, Gonzalez believes her story can help other families of color who were cheated out of their rights and lands and are seeking reparations. If only they would just believe that story. Of course, it took her 22 years, and she had the money and the means to seek out what she was looking for and kind of probably knew where to start, But goodness gracious, $10 million. And like you said, it was the cheapest way out because if they're saying no, then
it disputes the ownership.
And they would own it and everything on it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That I like stories like
Me
that.
too.
Because it puts to rest so much, when it comes full circle like that. And I believe it has very strong, familiar repercussions, for that family. Hopefully all for the best,
Well, and who knows if the other families got more or less, they didn't have to pay a lawyer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She paid the lawyer, I'm sure that's what that means. And just think of the blessing for each one of those family members, because 250 people, not every one of them's well off, I'm sure. Yeah. They're probably all doing okay. Yeah. I'm just saying.
I read a story about a basketball or a soccer player. He plays on, what is that England team?
I wouldn't know. There's so many.
Apologies. Well, he makes, it was like 10.2 million a year, 10.4 million a year. And I don't want to say all, the majority of what he makes is, he came from a poor African village where he grew up learning to play soccer barefoot. And he set up schools, he set up hospitals, and he sends a paycheck, a monthly paycheck a weekly paycheck, or weekly or monthly, to everybody in his village. Like he set up the trust, so they all get money.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. Then I read another story about a Texas basketball player who made millions a year, who was already homeless and on the streets.
Yeah, and they found him. What's his face that owns Amazon, or not Amazon?
I don't know. He owned the
Mark, whatever his name is, found him and got him into rehab and stuff. Mark Rubin. He owns that.
Houston Astros,
yeah,
or whatever it is. But I'm just, tell it to two millionaires, I suppose. But legacies are left.
Yeah, they are. Whether you intend it or not. It's like hearing something in your lack of disagreement or agreement, whoever said it thinks you agree with what they said.
Yeah.
So that's the way legacies work. Whether you intend to leave a good legacy, like the first guy, or you just intend to live your life, you've still left a legacy, whether you meant to or not.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes about what's my legacy, what's my kids, like, because it's not wrapped up in money for me. It's wrapped up.
I think everything, each generation is a step up.
Yeah.
Like is better.
It should be that way. You should, get better at doing life from generation. If you have a nuclear unit, whatever that unit is, continuing, and even if there's divorce and things, and they still can work as a unit, it doesn't mean they have to be nuclear in the same house. They just have to work as a parent unit. No matter what that combination is, they need to work together and move forward. And when that starts breaking down, you're set back to square one.
Yeah. And individuals can open and close doors,
Yeah.
That's everything in life, man, wrapped up right there. My family is actually important.
Yeah. So important.
Well, we did good tonight.
Yeah, we got a little heavy, but we made 8 baskets of that'd be 16 pumpkin pies.
Yep. Then we get to hand out tomorrow. It'll be so much fun.
Believe it or not, I didn't multiply that. I added it in my head because it's faster.
They probably went alphabetical.
I guess that's all I have to talk about.
Well, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.